Hello, Stefan.
Hello, Milan. How
Should
are
you
you?
call my nickname?
I try to avoid calling you Shmi Shmi
Okay.
uh, while we're live, but it's out there now. Shmilano, Shmi Shmi, Van Bovenkamp. I can't even get it all right. There's too many words in your Dutch name. But yep, happy to be here this time. Missed
Yes.
last week, which was a doozy, but I was in a beautiful part of the French countryside, and I was assured that Wi-Fi would be okay, and well, it wasn't. So c'est la vie, as they say here in France.
Great. Well, we have some guests lined up. This time, also from the teams that were not present the last time.
Wow.
We have some stats, obviously, and we would like to discuss one big thing with the community and with the people watching, which is interesting, if I say so.
Okay. Well,
do you want to do any other intro?
Pardon me?
Stuff. Do you want to do any other intro stuff? You want to tell us what you've been doing and?
Sure. Yeah, I've been very busy
using your life
in the ultimate community in the last at least 3 months, but basically during all of confinement. And on the other side, I've had some work reduction for one reason or the other, but which has given me the chance to do a bit more Frisbee ultimate. I am coaching an open, a mixed, and a women's team currently in the French system. And yeah, that's keeping me very busy. And as such, one of those teams, the open team I'm coaching, has a very strong connection with the UltiLeague here. So I'm not
a bit too much, or
I'm not directly involved with the mixed incarnation of this open team, but I'm very involved with the open incarnation that makes up half of the mixed team. So I kind of have my finger on the pulse. I know what's going on with one camp involved here.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to leave you to it. We're going to invite our guests, or shall we first announce some stats? Now, let's first talk about some, because the stats, if you've been following our news feed, has been announced as well, like in between stats on the Ulti World article written by Ravi Vasudevan. And
the Eurozone fame, of course.
Yes. So let's invite one of our guests. Let's ask them if they're ready. And I see a thumbs up. I'm going to lead you to it, Steph, and I'm going to invite Ráchel Tošnerová. Hello, Ráchel Tošnerová. Goodbye, me.
Hey.
Stefan, it's your time to shine right now.
Yeah, I said I can't hear. My headset went off, so I've just gone to the.
Okay.
How are you, Ráchel?
Hey, how's it going?
Yes, good. I think the last time I saw you in action, you were catching a game-winning goal for the ESPs and then pulling up with your broken wrist, which was one of the most bizarre finishes I've ever seen to a game. It was a joy to commentate, but it must have been a bag of mixed reactions for you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit, but what have you been up to since then? Anyways, tell us about the recovery and then into kind of COVID and lockdown. How have you been staying attached to Ultimate?
Yeah, so like soon after breaking my arm, we moved up to Scotland from like Liverpool-ish, and we've been coaching the uni team up in St Andrews, which has been great. We have a really big Frisbee club, and like going from playing at my old uni and coaching at a couple of other unis, it's been really different to adjust to having like 2 or 3 men's teams and 2 women's teams, and that's just incredible. So we've been back coaching for about a month now, which is nice. Starting to get back into Ultimate, which is cool. but obviously following all the guidelines and staying safe and everything. So yeah. Another thing that I've taken on over lockdown is disc golf, which has been a bit of an adjustment, but that's going really well and it's really fun. So yeah, enjoying myself.
I think I thought you were supposed to wait till retirement, Ultimate players, to start playing disc golf. All my old Ultimate teammates are now very heavy into the disc golf, and they love it.
Yeah,
I haven't been bitten by the addiction, so to speak, but I think it's a very overwhelming sensation.
Yeah.
And so the uni coaching and the club work. This is SMOG club you're speaking of, or is SMOG back training? Is SMOG? Well, I know that they might tell me about. I assume they've got a large presence, being able to put 2 teams into UKU, and then having the benefit of qualifying and representing 2 teams at Euros. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Since then, what's been the vibe, and how does that club can operate?
Yes, so we haven't really done an awful lot since lockdown started. We were really good at like challenging each other to do things. So we had quite a wide range of challenges going on our own social media pages, which were a lot of fun. But since then, we've recently like started to think about the idea of training again. There's like a pod of people who are in like the northeast of England and a pod of people who are in the northwest of England. And I think that we're trying to get some pod sessions going on over the next couple of weeks, couple of months. So that should be really good. But yeah, we haven't met up recently.
And
but it's great to stay in touch like online and things. So
is that an internal decision, or is that a state mandate regulation? Like, it's, if you're allowed to coach uni teams, would you be allowed to meet and train at this stage?
Yeah, we'd definitely be allowed to run like small trainings, and we're allowed to play some forms of games with very limited defense. So like not allowed to stall, because obviously you can't be shouting in other people's faces right now. Not allowed to get within a certain range of distance within other players. So that makes playing pretty interesting, because not a lot of people are really aware of where they're running. So you have to, it changes the game a little bit right now.
Yeah.
The rules in like the UK, but we're starting to get back to something that looks like Frisbee again.
Okay. And then so let's shift that, something that starts to look like Frisbee again, to the UltiLeague campaign here. First, we'll talk a little bit about the campaign itself, and then we'll talk a little bit about the potential playing in Frisbee, the next step if and when we get there. What is the strategy, I guess? What are you guys doing internally to keep your own membership aware? And I guess aware and involved in the campaign, from kind of top administration through to every member of the team. How is that being communicated?
So we have our own like internal Facebook page where everybody from SMOG is in that group, and we chat about ideas and things that we can run online and what we want to be doing on our own profile pages and things like that. And then we also have like a public facing Facebook page as well, and an Instagram. So we've been putting some posts out on that and sharing links and things, and just trying to get the community engaged in what we're trying to do, which is good.
Cool. And response-wise, I mean, we'll talk about the stats with Milan. We've got our work cut out for us, for sure. Everybody's got to kind of keep going. But okay, a simple response is boom, press a button and donate. Are you getting any feedback, any resistance, I guess? Are some people wary of even supporting because of the social situation, or is it difficult to kind of get an understanding of the community, of what you're asking?
So far, the response that we've had has been really positive. People want to see Frisbee, people want things to happen, and yeah, I think that the community has been just pretty like stagnant over lockdown, and people are starting to get excited about things again. So yeah, I think the UltiLeague could be really good for hype, for the vibe.
Good. Okay, so let's talk Frisbee. Let's talk hype and vibe. And let's. You guys have two mixed teams to prepare for a single 7-game maximum. No, I think only four per team.
Yeah, well, 2 games. Yeah.
Maximum. Let's talk roster size first. How would is this something you guys have discussed yet? Do you have something in your head that would be an optimal situation or an optimal size or way of selecting? What are your thoughts on this? Okay, this is going to go ahead. Now we got to get ready to play Ultimate. What kind of a squad are you bringing?
Yeah, so there's a lot of interested players. We obviously have a really large roster because we've managed to get 2 teams in the past. So we're definitely going to think about how we have to cut that down. We haven't decided a way to do it yet, but we definitely have a lot of interest from the team to be able to play.
Okay, so you would go through some sort of a selection process. There would be tryouts, selectors. Who are the captains, or who would the assumed selected? Are there players that kind of run the trainings or take specific captain or coach roles?
So yeah, we have the 2020 committee who are still currently taking the lead for SMOG and running things, which is great.
Bonus extension.
Gigi Morrison, who you might have heard of.
Okay, yes, I've heard the name Gigi Morrison.
And Tiffany Anderson and Holly Cardwell as well. A team of women leading from the front.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do the selectors have automatic selection of themselves? I assume they're all player selectors, or are they off-pitch selectors?
That's not something that we've talked about yet. We haven't talked about selectors and coaches and things like that just yet.
All right.
So all the spots are up for grabs. Yeah, and we haven't figured out a final way to thin the numbers down to what we want to take that.
And in Ráchel Tošnerová's esteemed opinion, what do you think is the ideal number of players for 4 games?
Players on the field, or
do you want a team of 21 coming? Do you want a team of 10 coming? What is for you? What is that perfect number of players to play 4 games with?
I guess that depends on whether we're playing 6s or 7s.
Okay.
Something that has been talked about a little bit online so far. I played in the Australian Ultimate League, and that was 6s, and I absolutely loved that. I thought that was great. There we had 12 players per team. Okay. And that rotation worked really well, 1 point on, 1 point off.
Okay.
But yeah, having 4 games might require more players than that, I guess.
Yeah, but in the AUL, you would have played more in that tournament that was broadcast over several weeks. 5
games, 6 games.
Okay, so not much more, but a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And then I think we've got a few people to chat with. I'm not sure Milan's going to mix this up, but before I do even take it back to him, take us back. Can you just take us to the moment that you got that goal? What happened to you after in the Zoltan EUCs? How were you cared for, treated? It was, like I said, such a bizarre finish to that game. Were you okay? Did you have to spend extra time in Hungary? How did that all go? Because that was
what a strange time. I've never experienced anything like that before. I'd never broken a bone. Caught a disc with my left hand, and then just fell over. It wasn't even anything bad. Just fell over. Did a nice little backwards roll, and then I looked at my arm. My hand was flopped over, and I could see this bone. So I knew that something was wrong.
We could see
it from my teammates started to run towards me, and I was like, no, stop. And then everyone realized that something was wrong. And the care I have is amazing. We have a couple of medics on the team anyway, and our physios were wonderful. They bundled me into an ambulance very quickly. I was cared for really well. The Hungarian doctors were lovely. Had lots of drugs. couldn't really feel much by the end, which was nice. Yeah, it wasn't too painful.
Okay, and you went home the next day? You went back to Scotland the next day?
Yeah, so the Hungarian doctor like recommended that I go for surgery the next day in Hungary. But I didn't want to do that, so I was like, can I just go home instead? Like, is that okay? And he was like, oh yeah, that's okay. Like he cast it, but only cast half of it and then just wrapped the rest in a bandage. So I flew home with that and then like went to the hospital when I got home. And then ended up just having like 2 pins put through the bone just to hold it in place, and that was in for 6 weeks and then taken out.
And then the rest we've seen part of your recovery on your Instagram account, which has been
I learned to play lefty, which is a lot of fun.
Good for you. I think it was a courageous journey to watch the recovery and an exceptional play with just a bizarre finish. So we hope that the next time we get to see you in live action under the cameras, might be an UltiLeague game, but we got some campaigning to do.
We do. No, that would be great.
Let me see if I can check back in with Milan here.
Hello.
Look at this technology. I ask and I get. Milan.
Yeah, so we share some stats on how the teams are doing.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, let's we can keep you in the loop. We can also add Ráchel here and the Erdferkels to announce the team. Ráchel from 3SB and the rest of the team of Erdferkel. So if we do this.
Holy moly.
We even have people on the field right now leading us in.
And Ráchel, not Ráchel, but
Ráchel
Tošnerová.
Oh, well, Ráchel just jumped ship. I don't know why, but she will probably come back and we'll loop her in. But let's announce some stats. So, so I'm just going to announce all the teams after each other. The team stats are currently Zawirucha in 6th place with 16 votes. We have 3SB in 5th place with 32 votes. And that means that all the teams that are coming now will be in.
We were to draw the line now.
Yeah, SMOG is 4th place with 43 votes. Closing in, which is Izaka with 50 votes. And then the 1st and the 2nd place, the breadwinners are Hässliche Erdferkel and Mighty Hucks with 51 votes and 71 votes. So Izaka is very closing up on Hässliche Erdferkel. And until further notice, until further votes, the Mighty Hucks is number 1. So they will probably have first pick in the advantage of the game day.
Probably.
So that's probably. Yep, that's that. What do you think, Ráchel, of these results? Okay.
Yes, Mark had a slow start, but then we're starting to power up. We're getting there, and we'll just keep appealing to our community.
All right. Erdferkels, what do you Erdferkel? Because the plural is Erdferkel still. What do you think of the stats?
Yeah, nice, but obviously we have to step up a little bit because everyone's getting close.
Yes. Izaka is chasing the Erdferkel very much. And Ráchel, let's see. I can see you, but I can only see you freeze. Can we hear you, Ráchel? No, Ráchel is not. Tošnerová is having some technical difficulties.
I know.
She's also. Maybe she's back now. Hello, Ráchel.
Hi. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay because this page keeps refreshing.
Okay, that's Oh, and she's gone again. All right, Rachel Turton, what do you think of the results right now? I already asked you, right?
Yeah.
Stefan is a great host, not me.
Let's do it. So who do we have here at Erdferkel? Who's the camera holder? What's your name? Oh, you're on mute. Hit your mute.
Yeah, my name is
button.
Moritz, but I'm better known as Mojo.
Okay, Mojo. You guys are sitting in second place, a sliver ahead of the background. Right now, you guys, you said you're going to step up your game. Everybody needs to step up their game. That is the plain truth of the matter here. What have you guys been doing beyond, let's say, weekly posts on Instagram, Facebook? Is there any additional campaigning strategy beyond your socials?
Yeah, we tried to make more videos and live streams, but unfortunately this weekend we had to cancel our game against Groot. Everyone who follows us on Instagram or on Facebook should have seen, no, it was Twitter and Facebook, should have seen a little goodie for everyone who missed that or would have liked to see that. So go check out our Facebook, check out our videos. And we're trying to give you more videos and maybe some live streams in the future.
Lots of handsome people jumping into the shot here. And I think I did see your video. It was very impressive. The celebration turned into all sorts of digital situations. Tell me about the extended German ultimate situation. Do you have access to other clubs in Marburg, the Hamburg, the Munichs? Do you have a way of appealing to them through the federation, or simply email spamming other outlets that can get to them maybe in a more official manner than hoping that they're following?
Yes, of course. So that's our plan, but we first wanted to give some content to our viewers, and next step will be to reach out to our German-wide mail distributor, and hopefully then some more will jump up to the train and see that's a nice thing here, UltiLeague, what we're doing, and it's something everyone should look out for and support.
Excellent.
Join in.
And before Milan takes us out, tell us about your playing training situation right now. You guys are on the pitch. You're obviously the restrictions are allowing you to meet and to compete at some level. Are there any restrictions? Are there limitations, or are you free to play normal, proper, ultimate? Tell us about it. What's happening there?
Yeah, it's a good question. Good question, because it depends on where you live and what your local sports club has from the rules. So right now we are playing from our sports club and from the university. And from the university we have much more stricter rules than from the club. So there we are not allowed to do any close contact. Here in the club, it's mostly like normal playing. So we're trying to avoid contact when with persons that are outside of the community, but obviously we're playing here, we're sitting here together and can play pretty much normally, so that's a great advantage right now, but it could change every time soon.
Right. We're all hanging on to government announcements for upcoming potential mandates. A lot of stat following, which drives me crazy, but it happens. Tell us about the club a little bit too. Hässliche Erdferkel. I remember I commentated a game at EUCF 2 years ago when I was in Poland, and I had at least 5 minutes practicing how to say the name of your team before I could even start reading team names. But tell us a little bit about the team name, the team origins, and a little bit maybe about your rivals, how you guys compete in Germany over the last few years. But tell us a bit about the club.
Okay, there were a lot of questions. I will start with the name. We had that last week, but can repeat it because it's yeah, somewhat of a funny story because in the time when our club was founded, or when there was a bit of breakup, and we had to change the name, find a new name. There was a trend with everyone going for fierce animals like panthers or eagles or something like that, and we wanted to be something more, opposed to that, and so we chose an ugly animal. The ugliest animal was the ugly naked mole, but ugly naked mole was no name that everyone would call himself, so we chose second ugliest animal. And yeah, for our club spirit, for what we're standing for, we're trying to keep it as close as possible with a small small staff and small not many people, and we're trying to get us close together, get many plays in small group to grow together even more. But that's only for a season, for a crunch season like this time. We're trying to up our game right now for UltiLeague, but in the normal trainings we're trying to include everyone, to get everyone in. So we're just making more practices, to grow together in the small circle, but also to take it out to the whole club and include everyone, so that we have growth long term.
Excellent. And I think that you're right. I did give you a handful of questions there, but I think the last one was tell us about your last couple of years of competition. Have you had specific rivals internally in Germany? Are there teams that pushed you? Have you won the last 2 national championships, or have you been?
No. Actually, last few years we dropped a little bit. Our best year was maybe in 2017 or 2018, where we beat Colorado, very good opponent in the German nationals. It was surprising for us and gave us a chance to play at Worlds. And in that round, we met Grut and also found a pretty nice enemy or opponent in them. And we're trying to play them as often as we can, because that's how we grow. Like Grut, we had maybe like 3 or 4 universe point games, and that shows how close we are and how much we push each other to the next level. And in Germany it would be Colorado. They are pretty good opponents, but also the other teams are very close, like Darmstadt and Paderborn, or pretty much many teams in Germany that are at almost the same level.
A good high level, good top end for the Germans. And finally, any experience playing any of the teams that are in UltiLeague? Do you have you met them in European championships in some form or another? Have you seen SMOG before? Have you played a version of Izaka or something that would look like the French team or the Czech?
So for Izaka, I heard that they only come together for special occasions. And so we had no opportunity to play them. Maybe some of us did their men's or their women's in the respective division. But we played Frisbee, we played SMOG. Were always nice games. But against SMOG, we fell a bit apart in the last years. They pretty much crushed us. So we're trying to show them that we can give them a little bit more competition in the game. And we are pretty, we have a good feeling about that. We can do that.
Well, that's the right place to start. Okay, well, thank you for your time. I think stay with us. We're gonna check in with Ráchel Tošnerová. Thank you, Mojo. We'll be with you again shortly. For now, we've got Ráchel coming with us. Toshti, can you hear me? This must be what it was like with me last week. I'm not quite with you yet.
Rachel has been having a pretty steady stream, but it's not at the moment. Maybe you can hear her if we can unmute your mic. No, we can't.
Her mic is muted.
Yep. All right. So I will. She's probably refreshing. So I have another announcement to make. Thank you, Erdferkel, for that, for everything, and thank you for interviewing Stefan. So I have one thing to say about the online competition, and for the people that are listening. So basically, we have votes, and we have people that already have an existing founding membership, and they vote. And we also have the people that those are the most valuable votes because they're double. And we have the teams that are now currently winning have like a competition going on, obviously. But we should really step up our game and extend. Sorry, we're on 1/12 of our goal right now. So if we go on like this, we'll reach 1/5 of our goal because we are sort of halfway, and which is fine because we'll make it happen either way. We want to do this for you and for the fans, and this is also a big experiment for us, a big validation. So if do people want to fund a league like this and fund a couple of games which are very excited, very focused, and more importantly, can we do this as big as that we make it cost neutral for the actual players? So the semi-pro angle is very important here because we want to enable everyone to play on a high level and not having only the rich players or rich teams to actually be able to play. So that's what we're asking here. Should we step up our game? Yes, totally. Because we're going to launch the competition for the discs, or we actually launched that last week, and we're also going to announce the actual shirt competition. Well, it's not really a shirt competition. It's like you can buy a shirt of one of the teams that are playing, and that's a very cool thing because then you can wear your favorite shirt and you can wear it to ECF or to whatever, and wear it when you're at home watching.
Yeah,
but what?
I think it just gives a bit more validation to a membership. Anybody who's sitting on the fence, I want something for me out of this, which is normal. Some people, when they're given money right now, you've got the option of doing the good deed and helping the wonderful systematic formulation here to bring ultimate.
So then you get a shirt and you get like 4 or 5 memberships.
Why wouldn't people be doing that? Why wouldn't they be doing that?
Exactly. So that can really enlarge the growth of the campaign. It can make that really happen. But should we extend the online competition for like maybe say a week?
Well, let's turn this into a discussion. But as the discussion is going, to go back to your stats, you said we're 1/12 of the total. And 1/5 of the trajectory. So we're working at 1/5 of the capacity necessary. So by that math, we would have to extend it 5 times. However, I also believe with the new initiatives, with the disc and potentially some more initiatives coming soon, the disc and the jersey, we should exponentially increase the potential to get supporters. The longer this goes, the more awareness there is, the more people get beat over the head with the potential to give membership. We should be able to get exponential growth. So sure, maybe there is some necessity for extension. I mean, finances, the financial situation makes it necessary. We have to get the money to run the competition. But maybe it doesn't have to be extended 5 times. It's like if all these teams start competing for their campaign the same way they want to compete on the field.
Right. So let us know your comments. Let us know what you think by replying to this live stream. It could be on YouTube, could be on Facebook, wherever you're watching. Until further notice, thank you for being here, and thank you for seeing this. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. Let's see if Rachel can come back. Yay!
Toasty! How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
struggling with the connection. Sorry, guys.
I feel your pain. I was there last week. It's okay. So what's new? What's up? Tell us about Ultimate in Budweiser in the Czech Republic. How is tell us a bit about training.
I think
we're back now.
For a bit.
About some Ultimate. Tell us about your campaign first, and then some training. What you guys are actually doing on the field over there.
Okay, so I will have to say this quickly because I might get cut off any time. We're still training. I know the Czech Republic's red, but it's mostly Prague. Budweiser is completely fine. We've been running practices. We got both our A and B team in the mixed division into the first league. Czech nationals are happening in the mixed division next weekend. So we're super excited to go with 2 of these teams. The second one being just juniors. So they did an excellent job making it to the top 8 teams in the Czech Republic. So we're working hard as much as we can. And in terms of campaigning, we're still kind of waiting, to get the vibe from the mixed nationals that are coming up. And hopefully we will have to we'll be able to push a bit harder, because from what I've managed to see in between the breakdowns of my internet was that we moved to the 5th place, which means I probably did not get the vote from Ferry, whom I've kindly reminded on Facebook that he really needs to support the smaller countries with less people and lower gross domestic product. Anyway, yeah, so that's
good. I think I agree with your response. It's good to support the smaller communities, but I think also in response to Ferry, it's a system that does need some finances. So as much as there may not be fair to start, the longer it goes, the more opportunity every community will have to be represented. Toshti, tell us which team. You got to get it. First, you guys got to up your campaign. It's going to happen. I've got this faith in 3SB. I just, maybe just my faith in the Toshti sisters alone. But once you're in, which team would you love to beat the most? Which team would you get the most satisfaction? Would your celebration drink at the end of the tournament be the tastiest for beating which one of these teams?
Stefan, did you watch live show number 1?
Did you answer this exact question?
Well, I'm winking at Sarah, my sister here, basically asking her with my facial expressions if I should make our reputation among the best European players worse or better, But to be fair, we do like a good fight. Hello, Marburg. I would like to point out that no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. This is a live show. I need to pay attention to what I'm saying. Steph, it's just an unfair below the belt question.
Right. I wanted maybe some reflection on that last Czech versus France game at EUC.
Please. No need to remind that. Just watch my highlight video. I don't need to brag about that any longer.
Toshti dropping
and
ball.
who remembers that they ended up before us in terms of final rankings? I have some universe points in my pocket, so it's all good.
They had a bizarre final standing based on their wins and losses. They won the right games. That was a tale of winning the right games.
They're great players. I mean, it's fun to play them. I especially enjoyed, I think I saw an interview from Tokai with Rasta, and it was just very nice to see a different side of the player, not just what I see on the field or how we interact on the field, especially in these crazy close games. So I would really hope that UltiLeague will also provide an opportunity to meet the other teams in another way, not just on the field, and maybe have some kind of, not broadcast, but sort of posts and interactions with the fans in between the teams. So sort of that they learn about the players also off the field, not just on the field. And yeah, I think it would be obviously the competition is always there. but at the same time, it might provide a good opportunity to learn something else about the other players as well.
Yes, excellent. I think UltiLeague
We hear you. We hear you.
Showcasing players one way or the other. I think it's great for the sport, full stop, and everything that's been done in Ultimate Broadcasting. I always loved the interviews, sideline, map, post game, just to get people speaking when they're in the height of the battle. It's nice to hear what's on their minds. You can kind of get a gauge for their intensity, for their calmness, for everything. So we hope to do that. And with that, let's talk about how 3SB will form. Is there anyone particular that will be jumping onto the scene that we'll notice once 3SB gets their spot? Is there a particular manner of how you'll be selecting? Is there a particular number of players that you think would be ideal for a 4-game scenario?
Well, right now, maybe I'll just voice some of the skeptical people out there hearing about UltiLeague, not being sure whether it's the right thing to do, be it for the reasons of Corona and running tournaments in this type of situation that we have around the world, or be it, the economical differences between the countries and clubs, etc. I think from what I've heard in the interviews with the other players that you had on in the live show, I think, actually, that was just an idea that popped into my head. If we don't make it to the goal, or if we're in some way being forced to run the event smaller than we thought, I think another option would be just to play Savage or Ironman or whatever they call it. Just have the 7 top people of your club play. I'm sure that all of Europe can support 7 players from 4 clubs to come and play a tournament, and it could give it, or 7 or even 6, 3 and 3, and it could give it a proper edge of playing a different type of ultimate. First of all, it could be 6-on-6. Second of all, it could be, your freaking endurance guys and girls. So I just want to say that if you're out there watching, thinking about UltiLeague, having your doubts, maybe just brainstorm. Talk about this with your Frisbee friends. Try to figure out what are the things that we as a community could do better, because I know Milan and other guys behind UltiLeague are very open to all suggestions. So anytime you come up with something, we're just trying to start it somewhere. We're just doing the best we can to get this off the ground. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. I'm the biggest critic of Milan. He can confirm that. Also, your headphones there are completely hideous. You should not be wearing that on a live show. And so if you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas for improvement or how to make this thing more accessible, more fun, more marketable to everyone, just do that. And if Savage is what you want to see, that's what we're going to give you.
Tošnerová,
Very interesting.
I love the Savage game. I know it's tough, of course. Little injuries, little niggles make people have to play through more pain than they may need sometimes. But I love
that didn't do enough prehab.
We can also have shorter games.
Yeah, and
very interesting idea.
Well,
100 minutes. I'll just have man standing or woman.
Savage.
Really.
That is very savage. So the most fit people in the field on the line could be a very interesting idea. Also, want to ask all the people that have bought a membership and are a member to vote on Ráchel Tošnerová's idea, because let's post it in our community forum, and then let's vote on it. Let's discuss it. It's very interesting. It's an open invitation for everyone to share ideas. And also about my hideous headphone, apparently, I'm not going for style. I'm going for the gamer vibe, whatever.
That's your problem.
Yep. Okay. Some great truth speak from Ráchel Tošnerová. One little thing. Do we want to see Erdferkel, you had some people on the. No, let's not do that. Do we have any other questions?
Well, I think Toshti took that and ran with it, which was great. I think it started with an ideal roster size, and she said, well, let's make a mandated savage roster size, which is good. I mean, that makes the potential to get all 6 teams there, maybe, if you're only sending 7 players instead of whatever the previously assumed roster size might have been, whether you were thinking 14, 18, who knows what it is. I think for me, from a coaching standpoint, for 4 games, I would probably want a 12-player maximum. But I think it depends on the talent. If you've got a full, deep bench of talent, maybe 14, 2 fresh lines, run them all day. That would maybe be the coaching optimal. But if you got a couple standout players that are happy to play both ways for 4 games, 10, 12 players would not be horrible. But like I said, Toshti, you took that to the next level. If you guys had 7, who ends up being on the selection squad? Is it a Toshti dictatorship for selection? How does this work in Bad Weiss?
I wish. We do have a mixed captain, Michal Marek. I'm sure he will join us during the live shows eventually. I was very, very freaked out about the fact that we need to do a selection eventually, that we probably won't be able to bring all of our 40 players or how many we have right now. But I think it would be much easier to pick the 7 best players than the best, 12 or 14 players, I think. You could run a whole bunch of tests and sort of assign them points. And I feel like that would be a bit easier. I also don't think that everyone would be up for playing 4 games, just savage. And now that I think about it, I'm really starting to like the idea, because that way you also support the smaller teams in Europe who might only have the 7 best players, and they are not able to attend EUCF because they can never have that decent size roster. But they have these excellent 7 players that feel like they're ready to face the best of Europe, and they should be given the opportunity, maybe.
It's a very interesting
I'm still
idea.
not replying to your question, Steph. I was really hoping that some of the teams, some of our competitors, are going to give me a nice recipe on how to put together a roster. But I've been struggling with that since I kind of founded the female section of 3SB, where we did have to play some 7-on-7 tournaments with just 6 people. So ever since, I think this year has been the first, or just the past few years, we had to cut some people from the A team, and they were always terrible, difficult decisions that I wouldn't want to make, because I just love to give people opportunity if they're up for it and show the commitment. So I mean, also another good idea. How about we, just if we have Ráchel Tošnerová there said that they have enough people for 2 teams, definitely. I would just say, let more people have more teams. I mean, more teams. I mean, A and B team for us and SMOG and Hässliche.
The other Ráchel T. Do you want to react to this savage idea?
Savage would be brutal. Savage would be savage, especially with we haven't trained for COVID, so going from nothing to a savage tournament would be pretty tough. But I like the idea.
I mean, when you take it as an alternative to potentially extending the campaign, maybe another couple months, or limiting the amount of teams, if the alternative is playing savage. How do we feel about this in Marburg? Who are we speaking to in Marburg there?
Hi, it's Angie.
Angie, how would you feel about this latest development we're discussing?
Mojo just told me they're talking about playing Savage, and I was like, what? No! We have so many awesome people here, and it's so hard to decide who is going. Only 14 of this beautiful bunch of people are allowed to going to play UltiLeague, and this would be so sad to only pick 7 to go there and have this experience. That's why don't play Savage. We would,
the opinion. I
but
think
Yeah, we know. You just haven't worked through Corona either. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You can just say that, but it's the German politeness. It's fine. We feel you.
I mean, it would make the job of selection, which is probably the most difficult administrative job in Ultimate, is making a selection to one, compare your players and pick the best. And then, of course, people who are not selected, they have the disappointment of not seeing themselves on the list. So that job gets a bit more harsh when you're only taking 7. Does the Ultimate get better or worse if you're taking 7? But based on the depth of any of your rosters, we'll start with SMOG. Turton.
SMOG have 50 players on this year's roster. Like, we brought 2 teams to Euros last year. I think that shows our depth, and I think it would be very difficult for us to choose just 7 players.
So you think SMOG would be better with a deeper roster, with a 14-player tournament?
I think that we're deep enough to be able to have a larger roster, definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And over there, Angie, I think you voiced your opinion, but you think, let's say you take it down 1 game instead of 4 games. You pick 1 game, the quality of Ultimate that Erdferkel can show better with 14 players still? Will you play a better game, or do you have 7 players?
yeah, I think what you both called Rachel T something?
Yeah,
okay, the upper one there. Ráchel, okay. I think we would play better with 14, yes. And we are super freezing right now because we are on this field since, 5-6 hours? And it was raining, and we were playing and had really nice, swaggy defense tactics and whatever. So we are so freezing right now and like to go home.
We won't keep you too long. I think we're pushing to our hour here anyways. It looks like Hässliche Marburg might have the advantage in the training situation. Maybe the Czechs are still at it the same, but seems like there's no holding them back right now. We talked a little bit about extended communities. We talked about rosters. In the last thing, I think I know the answer, but you guys all have large squads to choose from, but you have no limitations to your roster. Would there be any consideration of in-country pickups? Perhaps somebody in another city who would be good enough to add to your roster, somebody who's not too far away that would add, or would that take away from what your club stands for? Toshi, start with you.
I mean, the way to success is not paved by pickups, So Frisbee is very proud and making their rosters as much as possible out of the players from Budweiser. And if we do take a pickup, there has to be a super special connection. So right now, we're not considering any pickups from any other cities or any other countries. I think all of them had a choice to make. Everyone could have signed up for UltiLeague. I understand that it's difficult to kind of take the risk and go for something that you don't have any idea how it works and what it's going to mean for you. But that's just what I love about 3SB, that we always try to be, like I've already said this, not ahead, but if not ahead, then, we want to be where the things are happening. So for now, I don't think any pickups are foreseeable for us. But if, anyone who's super great and ready to play Savage and looks good on camera and is willing to wear short shorts and is not afraid of ping, loves me, loves my sister, can say a few phrases in Czech, they can definitely contact us anytime through Facebook.
It sounds like you're trying to recruit me right now, but it couldn't be.
Yes. Also, they have to follow us on Instagram.
Okay, and I believe in a very similar answer. We'll finish up quick with Angie in Marburg. You guys, would you even consider looking outside your club for another player? With no matter what, whether it was 7 or 14, if there was a superstar available, let me think of a German superstar who could possibly live in the city. Who's our Boytenmuller? No, Boytenmuller said I would join your team. Would you consider?
We are having people in our team who are not living in Marburg right now, but they are all Erdferkels, and some left since a year ago, and because this season we didn't have some time to get in our smooth and rolling flow, so we picked up just a few players from last season because the flow is already there, and to base on that, but we also have very new people who have a lot of first experiences on that level and to invest in our Erdferkel future.
Okay. And you said they're not Erdferkels. What does it take to be an Erdferkel?
No, they are Erdferkels. They're all Erdferkels. They play with us for many years.
Okay, so some experience, play a couple tournaments, be regular training.
Yeah. They lived in Marburg before.
Okay.
All of them lived or lives in Marburg.
They're ugly, aardvark looking folk.
And they are all still ugly.
You ugly Germans, you.
Can I say goodbye?
Say goodbye. Go get yourself warm. I think we're gonna close up. I'm gonna have a one last question for Ms. Turton here, but get yourself warm. But same thing. I'm assuming it's gonna be a very similar answer. But there are English, British, potentially Scottish superstars out there. Is there any chance that would be considered, or would that be against the ethos of what SMOG stands for?
SMOG have worked really hard to develop their local talent. We have so many amazing, great players on SMOG. Why would we look further afield for this? We're really close. We work great together. I don't see why we would want to add anyone at this stage.
As I said, I assumed it, but it had to be asked if we're going around the horn like that. I think I'm going to invite Milan to get back on here, but thank you all, the Ráchel T, but very ironic to have the both of you. But a pleasure to have a word with you all and to hear your insights and your opinions and your ideas. It's been wonderful, Milan. I'll pass it over to you, and you can take it from here.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Maybe one day we'll form a Ráchel T team.
Get all the Ráchel T's from Europe.
That's a strong start. That is you guys are a strong start. If we're starting a team of all Ráchel T's and we got Curtin and Toshi to start things off, I mean, I would consider changing my name.
Cool. I have nothing to add. This has been a great discussion, and I love the ideas and the reactions, and I love everyone being around. And probably going to announce that we're going to extend the competition for like a week. We'll vote to it.
Open it out. Keep working.
Yeah, that as well.
No. It's keep buying.
Keep buying.
Buy membership support.
Keep buying.
Yes.
Again, and just quietly, I am coaching the ISNO side of.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yaka. So I'll have my eye on all of you guys as well. This was partially a scouting report. All right, Milan.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Or if you're watching this later, which is also fine, check out the disc design competition and buy your memberships. Make this happen. We can only do this with you. Bye.